It was October 2021, several months after moving to Canada. I worked in 2 different roles in company and received something like 0.5 of the minimum salary in Canada. I just started my second degree in a Canadian college, which has rather intense curriculum. It was my 6th month of the 8-month coaching certification program. Adaptation in your country. Trying to find new friends and build relationships. Figuring out all the legal stuff. Living in the suburbs of the small city. And on the top of that, on my first way to downtown on the bike of my landlord, first my tire got flat, then I walked so many kilometers to fix it, and within an hour after fixing that tire, that very bike was stolen in the downtown of the city. I didn't have enough concentration to work and to show there my full potential. I was working with clients from all over the world, and in the majority of cases I was waking up to the phone where were dozens and dozens of messages of clients that I had to reply as soon as possible. I was really doing my best. I dreamt about working in this company for 2 long months. I did so many steps to get in there. One day the CEO of that company told me that those steps for me to get in that company was specifically created to make me give up that idea. But at that time it was absolutely opposite. I was trying even harder. And steps to get in that company were like, create a plan what you will do in the first month working in that company. Next step was write 5 or 7 different books in English within 14 days. Guess what? I screwed up a lot during the interview after reading all those books, but eventually they took me. The reasons why I was trying so hard to get into that company. First, it was a Canadian company and I was still in Russia, and I really wanted to get in there because eventually I thought that they will help me with immigration. And number 2, at the moment of applying, I wholeheartedly believed that that is a team of my dream. But once I was inside, it didn't seem that big dream place anymore. And here I was at 24, celebrating my birthday alone in a new country. Burnt out, exhausted. Only thanks to coaching, I survived. I knew there were a big lesson for me inside of that, even though at the moment of exhaustion you don't believe in that. But I didn't allow myself to complain because I was working in the company. I had a job at that time and that salary was covering all my expenditures, and I thought I couldn't dream more. But one day I received a message from the CEO. Create a Zoom link for our meeting right now. Those 5 minutes between him messaging me and then appearing in the Zoom meeting was eternity for me. Right away after his message, I knew that it was something wrong. And here it was. I remember him saying to me, Alyona, I free you up from the responsibilities of my executive assistant. Blank. Complete silence. Or the sound like the patient's heart stopped beating. That is it. What next? What am I supposed to do right now? I was dreaming about the job. I worked so hard, and that is it? I don't have enough money because of that crazy flight to Canada when I spent half of my budget even before arriving to Canada. All these thoughts happened in my head. They were circling around there again and again. I literally thought it was time to come back home. At the same meeting with the CEO of the company, and here I still remember something of that meeting. Somehow I didn't go complete blank. The CEO told me, at your age, I was still picking my nose. Look what you have accomplished already in your life. And you should know these situations will happen in your life not once. You will be broke, no matter how hard you've prepared yourself not to be so. And so I started researching for a new job. I sent more than 300 resumes. I went to dozens of interviews, and all was telling me the job of sales representative is not part-time, it can be only full-time. But I was legitimate to work only 20 hours per week. I didn't have enough time not to believe in myself or think that I will not find it. I just had no other options at all. And all that was when I was working non-stop from 6 a.m. till 11 p.m. Eventually, I found the right people. I approached them in the best sales way possible. So they created a new role for me. Part-time, the salary was 3 times higher, and I worked 4 times less, with much less stress in that company. After 5 months in that company, I started managing 3 people in my team. I successfully finished all my educational courses. I spent Christmas in the most beautiful mountains in Canada. I moved to a different province. I started my own YouTube channel and kept growing my coaching business. I finally started living my life, not surviving it. So what were my biggest insights? What would I say to me next time I feel stressed or stuck in my life? First of all, when you are burnt out, you don't acknowledge that you are burnt out or stressed. If you really can say so, the stage is really serious. Number 2, CEO, it is impossible to achieve anything major in life without proper rest. On that meeting, CEO told me, I realized that when you are young, you actually have to work a lot. And yes, I agree with him. That is true, but only when you have a proper rest regularly. Don't wait when you are actually exhausted. It might be too late at this point. Take care of yourself first. Each day and each week, complete a specific time for yourself when you non-negotiably will go and rest, do nothing at all, neither for your project, neither for your work. I can't emphasize this enough how crucial that is. You might think that you will waste that time, but it's completely opposite. Your rest is the most productive time for you, because in that time you will get an insight which will help you to change your life, to change your business, to transform your projects, so that time will be life-changing for you. You gotta believe that sometimes we have to go to the bottom, bounce, and come up. And you got to remember that once you still come down and you think, oh my gosh, when it's gonna end, that means that it is still not the bottom, which is a good news. The coming up is still ahead of you. And you should understand that if the universe won't believe in us that it is possible for us to go to the bottom, go through that, be okay, survive there, and come up. Those very journeys are the most powerful lessons in your life. You can't even imagine how precious they are, because you will never ever buy the same lesson anywhere else. And during that journey, you gotta believe in yourself, in your idea, in your project, even if the whole world stopped believing you. Next one is always make sure that you choose those steps in your life that will help you move forward to your dream. For example, I would fight with each company for that sales position rather than go work in McDonald's or Tim Hortons just because I have to. And one more, without wholeheartedly believing in the truth that it is for better, that there is some big lesson for me, that it will be possible for me to go through that journey no matter how hard it is. There is something unique for me in this chapter of my life. Without that believing, without sometimes telling that I will do just what in front of me, I will trust the universe and I know that clarity will happen sooner or later. If I won't have those thoughts, those deep truths in my head, I won't survive through that. At times it was so hard that I was crying at each of my coaching sessions several times per week, because at that time I had that access to so many different coaches who literally saved me on this journey. They were constantly reminding me that all my thoughts that are happening in my head, just thoughts, they are nothing to do with my future life. They are not true. And they are not helping me anyhow. And that is okay to ask for help. If you feel that you need help right now, if you feel stressed or stuck in your life, let me know by completing the form in the description of this video. It is a free coaching session where you will get a clarity about what you want in life, what is your true dream, what stopped you from achieving that, and what are the first steps for you to start moving towards it. To gain even more insights from me, please subscribe to the channel, like this video if you really feel that inspiration right now. Looking back at my journey, I barely understand how I survived. Only right now I can realize that the timetable of my day during those months was crazy, was absolutely not normal. So many coaches were telling me, Alyona, stop working so hard. Alyona, you will be burnt out after all those months. That very moment when I went blank, I felt that my life was about to end. I felt like it was the moment of biggest crisis in my life. I didn't know what to do at all. It was less than a year ago. And look where I am right now. I'm still in Canada. I worked at that new company. They are helping me a lot with immigration. I am building my business. I have energy for that YouTube channel. And I know that that was the biggest lesson for me in my life, and even more possible for me. Those hard times will happen again and again in our lives. It doesn't matter whether you like them or not, they will just come and present you with the biggest lesson in your life. And you are gonna learn from them, otherwise they will appear again and teach you even harder. No matter how hard we try, we are not learning lessons from others. And during those hard times, you are just gotta believe that there will be an end, there will be a clarity, there will be that bouncing up, and they believe that it is the biggest lesson. I am so grateful that that is happening right now in my life. Those two big pillars will help you move through the journey. So through the journey, you are going to believe in 3 big things. First, that you eventually will bounce up. If you are not bouncing, you know that it is still not the end. Number 2, that you are going to believe that here holds the most precious lesson in your life, the most precious gift for you that you will not buy for any money. And number 3, you are going to believe in yourself. You are going to believe in your idea, even if the whole world stopped believing in you. If you want to find out more how to help yourself, watch this video about the best, the most recommended, yet so underestimated self-coaching practice. By the way, it is #1 home task for my clients in my coaching program. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. I see you in the next one. Bye bye.